Hi, I'm Monty McKinnon. Thanks for joining me. Got a little problem today. We're coming up to Christmas, and I bought my wife a gift. She's a bit of a snoop at Christmas, and she likes to shake boxes and all that kind of stuff. You probably know what I'm talking about. You may have one at home in the form of either a teenager or a spouse, whatever the case may be, but she likes to mess around. So what I've done is when I buy her a gift, I hide it. And I have to be very good at where I hide it. In fact, I'm so good at where I hid it this year, I don't know where I hid it. She may not get a Christmas gift this year because I could tell her it's in the basement or it's upstairs. I don't know. Oh, man. Do I go and buy her another one? I don't know. Let's spin the intro and I'll come back and tell you some of the issues I've had here and what we're going to be doing today. Okay, let's do that. All right, we are back. Now, I took the guitar and I had a neck already made, or fingerboard rather, already made for this neck. And what I did is I put it on here and I took a look at it and I thought, yeah, that works perfectly. It's great. And then I took the fingerboard and I put it on the body here. And what happened is it came up short. So it would be like that. I don't like that. It's got to be down further. So that meant I couldn't use that fingerboard. And I, for the life of me, don't know why it didn't fit. I might have moved this sound hole a little bit, or I may have made that one for a different guitar and I thought it would work, but it doesn't. So what I've done, as you will see, I cut a couple more strips. You'll see that right here. It's tedious work. And I've got the two pieces here, and I've got the fingerboard. Now, the problem I have with this fingerboard is it's not long enough. I noticed that I had, for whatever reason, I probably had a brain cramp, and I cut it off and stopped the fret cutting at 20. And I wanted at least 21, usually 22, and then I cut it at 22 and bump it back towards 21 on the sander. So that's one issue. The issue that really complicates this is I can't put a square on this, because if you put a square on it, it's not going to line up straight because this is tapered. So I've got to figure out how I can put another fret into here without messing up the fingerboard and getting it straight. Good problem, right? So here's what I did. First of all, I went to the because I know they have this. I went to the StewMac website and I put in scale length. I know this is a 25.34, which is a typical Martin scale length, and I put that into their little calculator that they have for fret positions. And you can find that by going to their website and in the search area type in a scale length and then go to learn, and you'll see where it's got some stuff, and then down towards the bottom you'll see a little square there where you can put in the number of frets that you're dealing with and so on. So I did that, and you come up with, you come up with the fret position for each one of these and the fret distance from first fret to second fret to third fret to fourth fret, whatever. So I came down here to 20 to 21, and I looked at the measurement that I needed there. I then came back here to the center line and made sure I got this centered, because I can't measure from here. So I use the calipers, I find center, then I marked the center line. I then marked the center line here and came across, here is the 14th fret. And so I've got that, so it's exactly center all the way up. Drew a line. And then what happens is I end up, I know this is awful technical today, but it's really important to know that if you don't get your frets straight and you don't get them in the right spot, you're not going to get a guitar that sounds any good, because it won't play. At least won't play properly. So what I did is I then took that calculation, and right at the center point on either side of the center, I measured exactly the distance, and then I drew a line. Once I had the line in place, I then took a clamp, clamped it here, took a fret saw, and very carefully I had the square up against it, not to keep it square, but just as a ruler, and to help me position where this needed to be, and then I sawed it. Now, when you saw the fret, you have to be very careful, because I don't want tear out on the fret. So what I did is I put it into the wood, I tilt, this is exaggerated, I tilt it so that it's on the edge, and then I just draw it slowly. I do it again, and then I come down a bit, and I do it again, and I do it again. Then I go to the opposite side, and I do the same thing. I bring it down like this, and I bring it across like that, until I'm up like this. And then eventually I get it so that it's going to run perfectly right across. Now, I have two fret saws. This is the actual width of the fret that I'm going to be using. But I also have a thinner fret saw, and that's what I use to start the cut here on both sides, so that I had a very thin cut which would guide this tool, because it would not jump out and whatnot. And you know, with my shaky hands, that's a problem. So I've got that done, and it worked great. It really did. All right, so that's it. Let's leave it there. You can see the work I've got to do. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your views of my book in there. Well, that's the way I see it. I really do appreciate that. That's great stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe. Stay away from people. Be good.